My fiancé said, liking someone's picture isn't a big deal. But when I liked a shirtless picture of his best friend, he lost his mind. I smirked and said, funny. I thought it was just social media? He stammered, that's different. I showed him his own messages and whispered, no, it's the same. I'm 34, living in Austin, Texas. I'd been with my fiancé, Mark, 36, for 5 years. We met at a friend's backyard barbecue in Round Rock. He was funny, smart, had a laid-back charm, and he made me laugh like no one else could. We clicked from the start. We dated for 4 years before he proposed last spring during a hike at Enchanted Rock. It was supposed to be one of the best days of my life. I said yes without hesitation. The first few years with Mark were good, solid, even. We talked about everything. Or so I thought. We had plans, goals, dreams of building a life together. He said he wanted 2 kids, maybe a dog. We picked out our future home style on Zillow like it was already ours. But things started changing around 6 months ago. Slowly at first. He was coming home later. Always tired. Always on his phone. I'd ask how his day was, and I'd get one-word answers. I told myself he was just stressed with work, he had taken on a big client at his tech job. But something in my gut wouldn't let it go. One night, he was asleep next to me, and his phone buzzed. It was after midnight. The screen lit up, and I saw a notification from someone named Sophie. I stared at it for a second. Sophie? He never mentioned anyone named Sophie. I told myself not to look. I really did. But I looked. I tapped the message, and my stomach dropped. The conversation wasn't just a one-off. It had been going on for weeks. Flirty messages. Jokes. Inside references. She sent him a selfie in a low-cut top and he replied with, damn, you're killing me. Another message read, I had such a good time the other night. I can't stop thinking about it. There were hearts. Fire emojis. Things you don't send someone if you're in a committed relationship. And it wasn't just her. He responded. Encouraged it. Flirted back. I felt cold. I stared at the screen, trying to make sense of it. He told me she was just a coworker. That she had a flirty personality. That I was overthinking it. It's not like I cheated, he said. I asked him if anything physical happened. He swore nothing had. He said they just flirted. That it was harmless. It's just social media, he said. It doesn't mean anything. It's not real life. I told him it felt real enough to me. We fought for hours that night. I cried. He got defensive. At one point, he said, you act like I slept with her. I didn't. I couldn't sleep after that. I couldn't even look at him the same. But I stayed. I was engaged to him. I thought maybe this was something we could work through. We tried. Or at least I thought we were trying. A few days after that fight, I was scrolling through Instagram, just bored and killing time. I came across a shirtless photo of his best friend, Jake. Jake is a fitness coach. He's always posting gym pics, protein shakes, Monday motivation, kind of stuff. That day he posted a gym selfie. Abs, tan lines, that whole look. I paused. I don't even know why I did it. Maybe I was angry, maybe I was curious, maybe I wanted to see if Mark could handle the same medicine he'd been feeding me. So I double-tapped. I liked it. Didn't comment. Didn't DM. Just liked it. About 10 minutes later, Mark stormed out of the kitchen holding his phone. You liked Jake's post? He snapped. I blinked. Yeah. So? He looked like I slapped him. He's shirtless. I shrugged. Okay, and? That's disrespectful. That's my best friend. I didn't even raise my voice. I just looked at him and said, funny. I thought it was just social media. He froze. His mouth opened, then shut. He blinked, then said, "That's different." I laughed. It wasn't even a real laugh. It came out dry. Hollow. "No," I said, pulling out my phone. I opened his texts with Sophie and held the screen up for him to see. "It's the same." He stared at the screen. Then at me. He looked like he was trying to come up with something to say, but nothing came out. "You told me flirting wasn't a big deal. You said it's not like you slept with her. You said I was overreacting." He sat down and rubbed his temples. "You don't understand, Jake is my friend. It's different." I was done arguing. I didn't scream. I didn't cry this time. I just sat down across from him and looked him in the eye. "If I'm not allowed to like a shirtless photo, why is it okay for you to tell another woman she's killing you in a selfie?" He didn't answer. That night, I didn't sleep in our bed. I slept on the couch. He tried to come talk to me, said he was sorry, that he overreacted. That he'd block Sophie, delete the messages, whatever I wanted. I didn't respond. I stared at the ceiling until sunrise, wondering how the hell we got here. This isn't the man I fell in love with. This isn't the life I pictured. I haven't made any final decisions yet, but everything feels different now. Off. Broken. There's more. A lot more. But I'll stop here for now. I just needed to put it somewhere. Needed someone to hear me. Back with an update. Thanks to everyone who read and messaged after the first post. I didn't expect that kind of response. It's been a rough few days. So after the whole liking Jake's photo situation, Mark was quiet. Real quiet. He wasn't his usual self, no sarcastic jokes, no random late-night serial runs, none of that. Just quiet. On his phone a lot. Pacing sometimes. Sleeping like trash. At first, I thought he was actually thinking about his behavior and trying to fix things. Nope. 2 days after the argument, I get a message from Jake. Let me repeat that. Jake. His best friend. The guy in the photo. The message just said, "Hey. I think we should talk." I didn't know what to expect. I thought maybe Mark told him I liked his picture and he was going to scold me or something dumb like that. I replied, "About what?" Jake didn't answer for 2 hours. Then he sent this, "Mark's not being honest with you. And it's starting to eat at me. If you want to talk, I'm free tonight. No pressure." I just stared at the screen for a while. My hands were shaking. I didn't know if I should even go. But curiosity got the better of me. I mean, if someone says your fiancé is hiding something else, you go. So I met up with Jake at a coffee shop downtown. It was late, close to 9:30 p.m. The place was nearly empty, lights low, the kind of quiet that makes everything feel tenser than it already is. Jake looked nervous. Not like gym selfie confident. More like "I'm about to ruin your life" nervous. He didn't waste time. He said Mark had been hooking up with Sophie. Let me be clear, hooking up. Not just flirty messages. Not just "haha she's cute" stuff. He'd been lying. The late nights? The working late? That was Sophie. Jake said he found out because Mark used Jake's apartment once to meet her. Said he promised it was a one-time thing and begged Jake not to say anything. Jake said he felt sick about it. Said he thought Mark was trying to fix things with me, but when I liked that picture and Mark flipped out, Jake saw red. He treats you like you're the problem, Jake said. But he's the one acting like trash behind your back. I sat there, just staring. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. My body felt heavy. My arms, my chest, even breathing felt like work. I asked Jake how long it had been going on. He said at least 4 months. 4 months. I thanked him. I walked out without finishing my drink. I got in my car and sat in the dark for over an hour. Just sat there. My phone kept lighting up with messages from Mark. Where are you? You okay? Come home. I didn't respond. The next morning, I confronted him. I didn't yell. I didn't even ask questions. I just said, you lied. You slept with her. His face went pale. He knew. First thing out of his mouth? Did Jake tell you? Not I'm sorry. Not let me explain. Just panic. That told me everything I needed to know. He tried to lie at first. Said it was a mistake. Said he was drunk. Said it only happened twice. Then it changed to a few times. Then finally, okay, it was a few months. Each version of the truth got worse. I asked him why. He didn't have an answer that made sense. He said something about feeling unseen. That I wasn't as playful as I used to be. That things felt too routine. I looked him dead in the eye and said, so you decided to cheat instead of talk? He didn't respond. And then, he tried to flip it. He brought up me liking Jake's photo again. Said it humiliated him. Said he was embarrassed that his friends were texting him about it. I stood there, stunned. You cheated on me. 4 months. And you're embarrassed because I double-tapped a picture of a guy who's literally always shirtless on Instagram? He looked at the floor. No words. And just when I thought it couldn't get more twisted, he said this, I think you and Jake are too close anyway. I laughed in his face. You're accusing me of being close to Jake? After everything you did with Sophie? He mumbled something about boundaries. I honestly stopped listening at that point. I've been staying at my sister's apartment for now. We haven't canceled the wedding yet, but let's be real, it's falling apart. And deep down, I think he knows it too. The weirdest part? I'm not even heartbroken anymore. I'm just done. Tired. Numb. I haven't talked to Jake since that night. I don't know if I ever will. He told me the truth, but it also made everything 10 times harder. Mark hasn't stopped texting, calling, even sending flowers like this is some rom-com, and he's trying to win me back with a montage. I can feel the final conversation coming. The one where I say out loud what I already know deep down. But not yet. There's more to come. I know it. Something in my gut says the story isn't finished. I said I'd be back. I wish I wasn't. You know when you think, okay, it can't possibly get worse than this? It can. And it did. I'm still at my sister's place. Mark keeps texting. He sent this long message last week saying he's committed to healing, wants us to try therapy, offered to do anything it takes. But I haven't responded. I've been too busy trying to untangle the emotional mess he left behind. I started going through old photos, texts, anything to make sense of what was real and what was just a lie. I found a picture of us from a trip to Fredericksburg last fall, wine country, smiling, arms around each other. That was October. Turns out he had already started hooking up with Sophie by then. Then came the real twist. So remember Sophie? The first other woman? Yeah, she wasn't the only one. I found out through the most unexpected source, my friend Nina. Nina is one of those friends you talk to once in a while, mostly over texts and memes. She lives in San Antonio now, but we used to work together. We were chatting, just catching up, and she said this totally casual thing like, hey, so, is Mark still doing that side project with that girl Alyssa from his old office? I thought you were gonna kill him when they got so flirty. And I just froze. I texted back, who's Alyssa? Her reply? Wait, you didn't know? Turns out, Mark was also messing around with a woman named Alyssa, a graphic designer from his old job. They'd been working on some freelance branding thing together last year. I knew about the project, but he always said it was all virtual and just professional. I asked Nina how she knew. She said she met Alyssa once at a party last summer. And that Mark showed up with her. Let me say that again. While I was at a weekend retreat with my mom, Mark went to a party with another woman. They weren't holding hands or anything, but he introduced her as a friend, and apparently they were whispering and giggling all night. Nina said she remembered it because it seemed weird and kind of flirty, but figured maybe we were on a break or something. We were not. I felt like throwing up. I didn't tell Mark I knew. Not right away. I sat on that information for a couple days. Let it simmer. Then I called him. No text. No warning. Just called. He picked up on the first ring. Sounded hopeful, like he thought this was the call where I'd forgive him. I went straight in. Alyssa, I said. Silence. Mark, who the hell is Alyssa? He hesitated. Then sighed. She was just someone I used to work with. We did a few projects together. I cut him off. Don't insult me. Were you seeing her? Long pause. Yes, he finally said. But it was before Sophie. Way before. I asked him if they slept together. He said yes. I asked if he was still seeing her after he proposed to me. Silence. That told me everything. He eventually admitted it. They'd hooked up a few times even after we got engaged. According to him, it wasn't serious, and he panicked about the idea of settling down. Panicked. He proposed to me and then went and slept with someone else because he panicked. I told him he wasn't scared, he was greedy. He wanted the loyal partner and the side excitement. He wanted me to plan our wedding while he played house with someone else. And then he had the audacity to say, I didn't tell you because I didn't want to lose you. I laughed. I genuinely laughed. You lost me the minute you decided someone else's bed felt better than mine. He didn't fight it. He didn't beg. Just silence. So now I'm sitting here, trying to figure out how the hell I got here. How I went from planning color palettes for our wedding to realizing I never really knew the man I loved. Every time I think I've hit the bottom, I find another crack in the floor. I haven't even told my parents yet. They think the wedding's on pause because we're sorting out some things. But what's left to sort? I've been lied to, betrayed, manipulated, and gaslit for over a year. I don't know how many women were involved. I might never know. Here's the worst part, and I'm not proud of this, but sometimes I miss him. Or I miss who I thought he was. I miss the way he used to look at me. The Sunday mornings we spent watching old movies. The way he remembered I liked my coffee a little bitter. But I also know now that the version of him I loved only existed in my mind. I don't know what I'm going to do next. But I do know this story isn't over yet. Because I have a gut feeling there's still more he's hiding. And something tells me I'm not the only one he's done this to. This is the last part of my story. So where we left off, I had found out about Sophie, then Alyssa, and the slow, painful unraveling of the man I was going to marry. I was living at my sister's place, trying to stay numb while figuring out what the hell to do with my life. But I wasn't ready to fully walk away. Not until I got one thing, truth. All of it. At once. Out loud. With no more lies. So I decided to confront Mark one last time. But I wasn't going to do it in private. No. He made a public fool of me, using people around us to cover his tracks. I wanted this conversation to happen where he couldn't twist it later. Where others would hear. So I planned it. Our friends were still under the impression that the wedding was just postponed. We were supposed to have a small engagement party redo that had been delayed due to COVID last year. Mark still wanted to have it, to show we were working things out. He invited friends, some of my family, even Jake. I said yes. I showed up early. Dressed in white, ironic, I know. Quietly collected. But my hands were shaking inside. I didn't come to celebrate. I came with a printed envelope and a copied folder on my phone. He greeted me with fake warmth. That smile he always used to melt tension. It didn't work this time. People gathered. Laughed. Took pictures. Toasted us with champagne. Then I stood up. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't scream. I just said, since everyone's here to celebrate our future, I think it's only fair they know what it's built on. The room went silent. I opened the envelope and began reading messages between Mark and Sophie. Then Alyssa. I even read the date of the party he took Alyssa to while I was away. And the exact day he told me he couldn't wait to marry me right after sleeping with her. I watched his face drain of color. I watched Jake's jaw tighten. I saw my cousin whisper, "Oh my God," to her boyfriend. Mark tried to interrupt. "Okay, that's enough," I turned to him. "No. You don't get to control this anymore." I pulled out my phone. I played the voice memo Jake had sent me a few days before, where he talked openly about what Mark had done. I had asked him to record it, just in case Mark ever denied it. Mark turned toward Jake, furious. "You betrayed me?" Jake just stared at him. "You betrayed her. Don't flip this." Someone in the back muttered, "Jesus Christ," and then, the final twist. A woman I didn't recognize stepped forward from the crowd. She looked young. Early 20s. Pretty. Quiet. "I'm sorry," she said. I didn't know he was engaged. My stomach dropped. Her name was Lexi. She worked at a gym near his office. She said they'd been seeing each other for the past 2 months. That he told her he was getting out of something toxic and needed time. She only found out he was engaged last week when she saw a tagged post on Instagram. She'd been thinking about coming forward. But seeing this now? She couldn't stay silent. I didn't cry. I just stood there. Quiet. Mark's face? It looked like everything in him collapsed at once. He started mumbling. "I didn't, she wasn't, this isn't what it looks like," no one was listening anymore. My sister walked up beside me and took my hand. Then I walked out. Head high. Still shaking. But steady. It's been 3 weeks. The wedding is officially off. Mark tried calling. Then texting. Then emailing. Then sent a handwritten letter. He tried every angle, apologies, excuses, even blaming me. "You embarrassed me in front of everyone," he said in one message. I didn't respond. Jake reached out again. Said he was proud of me. Said he's cutting ties with Mark for good. My mom cried when she found out everything. Not because the wedding was off, but because of what I went through alone. She said she had doubts about him early on but didn't want to interfere. People talk. That's what happens when betrayal goes public. Some judge. Some stay quiet. Some send me messages saying I'm brave or cold or strong or savage. I don't feel like any of those things. I just feel free. For the first time in months, I'm not waiting for a lie to fall apart. I'm not pretending I'm okay while carrying all the hurt by myself. I'm not saying I'm healed. I'm not. I'm still tired. Some mornings I still check my phone out of habit, half expecting his name. But I also sleep better. And I look at myself in the mirror without wondering what I did wrong. Because I didn't deserve what happened. I wasn't perfect, but I was loyal. Loving. Honest. And he threw that away for the attention of strangers and the thrill of secrecy. Trust your gut. Cheaters don't wear signs. They smile. They laugh. They hold your hand. They buy flowers. And they lie. If something feels off, it probably is. And if someone shows you they don't respect you, believe them. I don't know what's next. But I know it won't be with him. And that's enough for now.